Okay, so I'm going to talk to you today about what I learned this week in the realm of science, which is something called the Blob. Okay,
the Blob.
Based on the movie
Blob.
The Blob. Yeah, that's Celine Dion saying the claw for those of you over there who.
But like also as a reference, I thought to Liar Liar when Jim Carrey does the claw.
Yeah.
Oh no, isn't it like the other guy tries to mimic him and it's bad? Anyway,
But I think that's what Celine Dion was doing.
right. Wow, Celine loves Liar Liar.
Celine Dion is, speaking of comedy, she's a comedic genius. Okay, so in late 2013, there was this huge patch of the Pacific Ocean that got extremely warm. It was like this 1/3 the size of America, and it got way hotter than it had to do with like the details are very specific. A lot of like things coming together, like El Nino, pressure, whatever. But climate change in the end was a big contributor. And so what happened is it killed so many phytoplankton, which then killed so many of something called copepods or like copepods. Like I don't know, I didn't look up the pronunciation, but they're like little crustaceans that so many fish eat. Okay. Then all those small fish died. Yeah. Then the bigger fish died, and then whales died, seabirds died, and essentially they think now 100 million cod died because of this warming of the ocean.
In what period of time did they recognize
this? They think that this year is going to be the lowest cod numbers ever. So it still has an impact because like, that year, all the cod that should have grown in that year had nothing to eat. So then they like died a year later. But last year, like as of last year, I think actually 2016, 100 million cod died from this blob. And the point that I want to say and that people should think about is that we think about like heat waves a lot, like on Earth, like on
land,
literally land. Sorry, I guess we're always on Earth. Water's on Earth. On land, but these are ocean heat waves, marine heat waves, and they are going to continue to happen as climate change and as we burn fossil fuels and as we move into the future. The increase in heat waves on land are going to happen, but also in the water. And the drastic impact of killing those small phytoplankton, obviously, when we learn about the food chain, it goes up, ending with whales. They think a lot of the whales died because there's an algal, like a toxic algal boost that happens when these things happen. And this year, only 99 humpback whales returned to the glacial bay in Alaska, which was down like 45% from before, with only one calf. And they think it's still an impact of the blob. So anyways, it's one of those things that I think we think a lot about like humans and where we live and on land, but then it's like, okay, obviously.
That's so true.
We should think about
forest
heat waves.
Fires. We think about stuff that is like directly impacting us. But
and here are just some stats to end on. You created a crisis for me in that you seem so good and you're like doing all these things in your life. And this is just a crisis for everyone. I'm the downer of the group. So into the year 2000, 25% of the oceans were experiencing no warming, and only 1% of the ocean had what is referred to as extreme warming. But in 2016, the results just came in, and only 5% of the oceans have no warming right now, and 12% of the oceans have extreme warming. So these blobs and the impact that we're going to see as the phytoplankton die, as the algal boosts happen, are going to be drastic. 100 million cod are dead. I'm like, how do I lift this up at the end?
You can't. No, that's important not to. We don't need to lift it up because it's just something. It's going to impact humans. Like if there's not enough cod to eat, we're going to notice.
And I just keep reading these science magazines like week after week, and it's just so much stuff about climate change. And I'm just like, I know we talk about it a lot, but I mean, it's just on my mind all the time. And I think it leads into what we're talking about today, being vegan and how do we move forward in the world. And there's lots of other like exciting things I read about. Like there's this new
like advancements and
there's a really cool thing that's happening now where they're actually just like trapping CO2 from the air in these machines and then using that CO2 that they trap to then that's what they'll put in Coca-Cola to cause like fizziness. Like, because you need carbonation and CO2 does it. So, like, in order to actually make an impact, you need to, like, bottle the things that we need and, like, sell it. So they're like, is there literally a market for carbonation that we can be like, okay, Coca-Cola, you probably want to make your thing green, use CO2 from the air.
Oh, my God, that's crazy. That's kind of cool. Right. There's, like, some hope.
And when you read about it, you're like, okay, well, this is, like, an economic
is it too little?
Too little, too now, too little, too late. JoJo didn't know, but she made a climate change anthem. It's too little, too late.